Nelson.
Good gravy.
A radio host.
Found myself 2 million short of a millionaire.
Barely understandable.
Gee, Monetti.
We can rebuild him.
Guy's bright as a napkin.
We have the technology.
You gotta work with design, vision, and focus.
Better than he was before.
It's not lonely in my head.
Funnier.
I'm staring at a bowl of spaghetti trying to figure out which two ends come together.
More informative.
Characters defined by what you do once you screw up, not if you make mistakes along the way.
And just as sarcastic.
You sausage.
Oh, come on!
Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to Nelson Radio. I'm with Marco Ruffo, resident expert out of the Palisades area with Prudential California Realty. And Marco, we have an exciting guest with us, Beth Styne.
Yes, we really do. I know Beth's legacy, I should say, for many years. She's an icon in the business and been with Coldwell Banker for a long time.
My God, that makes me sound like I'm 100 years old.
I know, and it's not the case. If you were here, we'll post Beth's picture. She is not 100 years old, but has an iconic history in this industry.
Absolutely.
And now leading the charge for Coldwell Banker in the greater Los Angeles area?
Absolutely. I'm the regional vice president for the greater Los Angeles area, which covers from Hancock Park all the way down to Pacific Coast Highway, north to North Malibu, and all the way down to Palos Verdes. So I have a wide territory with 19 offices and a lot of agents.
And many headaches.
And many. Is it herding butterflies or is it more controlled than that?
Oh, it's herding cats.
Herding cats.
It's herding cats. No, it's actually, you know what, the good thing is right now the market's great in our area and people are really excited and people are for the first time because they spent, as you and I talked about earlier, for 5 years or 7 years, it's been a very difficult time for a lot of agents to get their foot in the door, get working, get motivated, get moving. And so for me, it's me getting my managers to motivate their agents. And it involves that and a lot of training and getting people happy and keeping a good attitude because that's really it.
Right. Let me ask you, because we were talking about this earlier, in the leadership role is really what I wanted to focus on in terms of you're leading the charge. You have 2,500 or 3,000 agents in the greater Los Angeles area. It's a big community of people. And in terms of that leadership role, define for us what that means in terms of how you're leading that charge.
Well, at the end of the day, what I really do is, if you were to go and look through what I don't want to call it a hierarchy, but how it works in our industry, you've got our agents and you've got a manager who manages the office, and then you've got my position, which is the regional manager, and I run the west side, and I've got a counterpart in the northwest, and she runs the northwest office, and we've got 3,200 agents, and that's our whole greater LA company, which is both, and then we've got a president, and then an executive vice president, so they're people that we answer to as well. But my day is really about, getting in the office, seeing what's going on, looking at numbers, because that's part of it, and answering any problems and questions. And then I get out and hit the road, and I hit all the offices. I'm in every one of my offices once or twice a week, and sometimes I'll sit and park myself for a couple of hours. Sometimes I'll do an office meeting and try and do whatever I can to get the troops motivated. And that's really what it is. It's getting out there and understanding what's happening in each office, because it's one thing to hear what's going on and what some of the struggles are with some of the agents. It's one thing to be a problem solver. It's one thing to work on helping people, solve issues, get listings, which is a big part of what I do as well. And it's a whole other thing when you're in the offices and your feet are on, you've got your feet in the street and you know what people are really doing.
Right. Marco, let me ask you from your perspective. You run your own business.
I do.
And so from that stance, are you looking for leadership from the executive staff of your company? Are you looking for
Always.
inspiration, or is that something that is now just self-generated?
It is self-generated, absolutely. However, I always look for leadership in any of the people that I'm associated with because I want it to trickle off to the other agents so that when we're doing deals together, everyone's on the same playing field. I wanted to ask you, Beth, do you find that real estate agents, brokers, are held to a higher standard today?
I think right now they are in the same way that right now they're holding mortgage brokers to a higher standard.
Right.
They want to know that you're out there and you're taking really good care of the individual. You have a fiduciary responsibility. We're in an incredibly litigious business, and it's the more educated our agents are, the more educated they come out of the box, then the more supported you feel as an agent in the field. Someone who's answering calls on your listings, you know that they know what they're talking about.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with them more.
Well, it's been a big void in all segments of business, and certainly the mortgage correction. We were laughing about the little correction in the mortgage industry called the mortgage meltdown that took place over the past few years. But obviously it was lawless, and so many in our industry define the right and wrong, the compliance issues, based on what they got caught at, not whether it was right and wrong. And so from a contractual standpoint, you do have a large volume of agents that are entering into legal contracts. Do you find them pushing those margins, pushing the boundaries?
We are really careful about what we do. And I really pride myself in having a team of agents on the West Side and also in the Northwest region who are exceptional at understanding what it is they're doing, understanding what the contract is, writing an offer as though the trier of truth is looking over their shoulder. Mm-hmm. It's crucial to understand what it is you're doing and what you're talking about and property values, and also understand that we are in a changing market.
Do they have to address you as the trier?
As though I'm the trier of truth.
Madam
Vice President. No. No, as a matter of fact, I really am sometimes uncomfortable about putting, even in my signature line in emails or in, my title, because I think it's not about that. It's about guiding people, and it's about giving people inspiration and motivating people to really do something different.
I have some questions along that line. I wanted to make certain our listeners are contacting us with questions and certainly looking at leadership and inspiration. But this segment brought to you by Best Chauffeured. How we all arrived here today. They provided a fantastic brand new limousine for us on our trip up here. Best Chauffeured, providing transportation services worldwide. I want to encourage you, if you need a limo or transportation services to the airport, what have you, you can text the word limo to 313131, or you can contact us at any time with questions for Marco or for Beth Styne with Coldwell Banker, direct at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. So I want to ask you, just as we close out this segment, in terms of just some specific examples, how you motivate people. How do you get them fired up and, as I fondly say, caffeinated, spastic, and ready to go hit the marketplace?
I'm a really big believer in reading. I think that the more educated you are, the more information you can impart. And I think that for me, I would do a lot of reading and then talk about things that I'd read. And I also talk about what's going on in the marketplace, and also talk about success stories, talk about different tips, tools, training. And I also really like Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss?
Wow, Dr.
Marco?
Seuss.
The places you'll go.
Green hams and
the places you'll go. I'm telling you,
good.
It's one of the best books ever written to give people a real strong sense of what they need to do and where they need to go in their lives.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with her more. Definitely everything that she just stated, the list that she gave was fantastic. And then to add to that list, what I believe is that you have to show by example. And you have to take them out there. You have to prove to them. And if you could show them one little thing that changes their life that day and on the way they're going to behave in real estate, you have an ally in this person.
Beth, we have 30 seconds left. I wanted to ask you in terms of just best practice. What would be that impression that Marco's referencing that you use over and over in terms of influencing or inspiring?
The basic tenets of the code of ethics of our industry, which is do unto others as you have others do unto you. The golden rule is everything. And I think that leading by example is the best thing that anybody can do, from being an agent with your team who are working with you, your assistants, if you have that, to management, to associate management, to somebody in my position. You have to be able to impart a sense of right and wrong, justice, and a caring heart, kindness, and good intentions.
And just as you would do as a parent, I mean, in any aspect of life. You know?
Absolutely. Beth, stay with us. We have some more questions for you. You're listening to KTLK AM 1150 here with Nelson Radio and Marco Ruffo, our expert contributor for this week's show. And this segment brought to you by Best Chauffeured, our limousine partner providing transportation services worldwide. If you need a limo or transportation, you can text the word limo to 313131 or call us direct at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Beth, we're going to surprise you. We're going to be right back with our Coach's Corner and Jim Herrick. Get a little inspiration from Coach Herrick. We'll be right back.